Hey guys, welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching, much appreciated. So today we're going to do part 3 and the final part of the TRX-4 Traxxas build. Today we're doing part 3 of the Traxxas. Today we're doing part 3, the final part of the Traxxas TRX-4 upgrade build. So if you've been following along through parts 1 and 2, we've upgraded the electronics. We've upgraded some parts through Shapeways, courtesy of Bowhouse RC and Night Customs. And then we got a clear body and painted that body and gave it a really nice, cool look. Then we added all kinds of accessories from Night Customs to just kind of give it a little more scale accuracy, make it look like a real truck instead of just a Lexan truck that didn't have any windows. Hello, why would you not leave the windows clear? Anyway, we've talked about that enough times already. Let's just take a look at the truck overall. You can see that I went with this sort of, I'm calling it a sunrise stripe pattern. It's red, orange, camel yellow, and bright yellow. All Tamiya colors, all PS, because you have to use PS colors on polycarbonate, otherwise paint won't stick. I also added some body lines, and those body lines are deceptively easy. I found something in sort of the drift RC world called Extra Speed. I believe it's Extra Speed. That's the name of the company that makes this tape, and the tape is 0.5 millimeter wide. Very thin, very flexible, and sticky enough that you can use it to fill those body lines or those panel lines that a lot of people tend to just kind of leave blank, especially on a Lexan body, because, you know, it's kind of hard to get in there with paint. When you're at Hemi-Storm's level of painting skill, you can definitely mask those out. And I will try that on another Lexan body if I do one anytime soon. This is a nice alternative. It looks great, and overall, I'm really happy with how this truck has turned out. So why don't we go through a few of these features. We have to mention that I also put an interior in this truck, and that's a Proline PLC. Covered that in the last episode at least, talking about it. Now it's all cut up, it's painted, and it's inside. Of course, in true me fashion, I screwed up the paint. What was supposed to be a nice Corsa gray interior with the seats, that contrasting color with the black rest of the interior, it didn't turn out that way. I managed to grab a can that I actually swapped caps on, so what I thought was matte clear was actually smoke. And when you put smoke over something, it tends to hide all that detail. So kind of blew it on that one, but at least there's an interior in the truck, and for all intents and purposes, because it hides all the electronics, I think we kind of nailed it. To those of you who are going to use the PLC interior from Proline, you will have to do some trimming. And when I say some, I mean a lot. It's probably best to tape the interior in rather than mount it in any other way. And it's also a tiny bit short, but because I've made this sort of a panel side Defender, you can kind of get away with that. So not overall a big deal for me, but if you were to have those windows actually not masked like I have them, you probably will see a bit of a gap, and that might look a bit kooky. So, you know, your mileage may vary, but I would definitely consider not doing that. Okay, so let's talk about some of the details. In previous videos, I installed all of these Night Customs pieces, including the vents on the bonnet, because if it's a Defender, it's a bonnet, not a hood. The door hinges are also from Night Customs, the door handles, and gosh, what else? I know there's something else. Oh yes, on the back of the truck, we've got Rotopax replacement from Night Customs, which looks much better than the kind of plasticky crap ones that the Traxxas body was including. I also put a bug-out rack on the top of the spare tire, which I think is kind of cool. And if you don't know what a bug-out rack is, you can go Google that right now. What else? The snorkel, and there's a little tiny piece that James also makes to cover the hole that is on that snorkel. So we've got the snorkel top, which gives it a nice mesh look, very true to the actual thing. And then this little cover piece that kind of covers up the hole that is part of that snorkel from the factory. I've also got his windshield wipers on there, and a couple of front runner cargo boxes on top of the roof rack, just to give it a bit of dimension and give it a different look. that's pretty much the whole thing. There isn't really much to talk about, so rather than me chatting about it, why don't we actually just go out and drive it some and have some fun with it. My sincere thanks to the people at Shapeways for providing a lot of these parts to me, Night Customs for making some great exterior pieces that really make this body shine, and Bowhouse RC for helping me tune the performance of this truck by lowering the battery tray and adding a servo winch mount on the front, as well as their own servo mount, which does help lock down that servo. Overall, I'm really pleased with the look. I'm happy to drive this truck around on the trails. You know how I feel about it. I still think that it's a bit overcomplicated for what it is and what it needs to be and what most people will use it for, but it is a pretty cool truck overall. A YouTuber today actually posted on the last video that he thinks it would have been a really great idea, and I totally 100% agree with him, if Traxxas did 2 models of the TRX-4. One that has all of these features and all of these gimmicks and the lockable, unlockable diffs, all the servos, all that stuff, cruise control, what else? 2-speed, all of those things. Maybe make that like a TRX-4 Deluxe, and then make a TRX-4 Basic that kind of does away with all that stuff and just makes it the truck that it is without all that stuff. Let's hear what you think in the comments below. I'm really keen to kind of get an idea of if am I like way out to lunch on this, or is that something that you think could actually sell? It's been a blast putting this together, and I look forward to doing another build series on upgrading or maybe taking a kit to the next level. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.